Okay, so today, guys, we're going to do time value of money, and we're going to use Excel as our tool in order to compute time value of money problems. It's easy to use Excel kasi may mga functions na dito on time value of money. So we get the future value, present value, etc. Okay, so today we're going to expand on our discussion before, a brief discussion before on a very basic principle in finance that 1 peso today is not the same as 1 peso after 1 year. So much more 1 peso today is not the same as 1 peso after 100 years. There's a reason why you would prefer to have 1 million now compared to 1 million after 1 year, because of the cost of money, because of the time value of money. So we're going to look at several functions or several concepts in the time value of money and then apply them. Kasi walang use naman, guys, kung i-discuss lang natin yung time value of money concepts and then wala tayong application. Definitely may application dito. So ang example, kunyari guys, mag-apply tayo, kunyari maglo-loan ka ng bahay, maglo-loan ka ng motorcycle. Ngayon kasi nauuso yung motorcycle. For many people, they would rather, instead of riding public transportation, i-compute nila yan. Kunyari, magkano yung pamasahe every month, no? Tapos kung gagamitin ko na lang tong pamasahe na to for my monthly amortization dun sa motorcycle, di ba? Mukhang mas feasible, mas logical, mas convenient, okay? Ngayon kasi ang dami na nagmo-motorsiklo, no? So maybe we'll take a look at a problem where you'd like to buy a particular motorcycle and then paano mo i-amortize yan? Paano natin babayaran yung monthly niyan? And that can be solved using time value of money. And that goes for any consumer loan. Consumer loan kasi yan, no? Pati yung real estate loan, kunyari bahay at lupa. When we do a loan with Pag-ibig, these are applications of time value of money problems. But yung fundamental nito, guys, is learning ano ba yung what's compounding and what's discounting. So if we have let's say 1 million today, sabi natin mas preferred natin yung 1 million today compared to 1 million after 1 year. Okay, so we take a look at that. Drawing natin. Can you see, guys, you can see the the spreadsheet. Can you, guys? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we say guys that yung 1 million today, okay, so times 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5 years. We can get the equivalent of 1 million today in 5 years time. Okay, so ang question, magkano yung 1 million today in 5 years time? Assuming that we have a rate of return, a given rate of return. Okay, so that means that we're computing for the future value. Future value. Magkano yung future value ng 1 million ngayon? Okay, so 1 million ngayon. Of course, guys, you can also compute for the future value if the 1 million will be after 3 years. Kunya, andito yung 1 million. 1 million in 3 years time, magkano yung magiging future value niya? Pwede rin yun. Okay, so you can get the future value at any point in time. So conveniently, guys, ang gagamitin natin, magkano yung future value ng 1 million ngayon? Okay, times 0. Now, 1 million. If the rate of return is, let's say, whatever that rate of return is, no? Kunyari 10% yan o 5%, magkano siya, magkano yung value niya after 5 years? Okay, so ito, we'll call this present value, yung 1 million, yung value niya ngayon. Tapos, magkano yung value niya after 5 years, yun yung future value natin. So these are what we call equivalent amounts. Equivalent amounts. So you can choose the future value, okay, but you will have that in 5 years time, or you can use the present value, but you'll have that today. But we will be indifferent. Ibig sabihin na indifferent, okay lang kahit in 5 years time yan, kasi equivalent naman yan dun sa 1 million today. Okay, assuming that you have this rate of interest or rate of return na R. Okay, so there's the formula to get the future value is this one. Okay, the future value is equal to whatever the present value is, magkano yung amount niya ngayon, and then we multiply it by a certain factor, which is 1 plus r raised to the t. Now this is called the compound factor. Compound factor. That's why the process of getting the future value is called compounding. So when we're trying to get the future value, we are actually compounding. On the other hand, guys, pag baliktad, you're given the future value, you want to determine magkano equivalent value niyan ngayon, okay, after how many, before how many years, okay, and given the interest rate, the rate of return, how much is that today? That process of getting the present value given your future value is called discounting. So you have the process of compounding and you have the process of discounting. So sa discounting, guys, you multiply your future value with this factor. So this is called your discount factor. That's your discount factor. And what is your discount factor? It's 1 plus r raised to the negative t. Now, what's another way of writing that? What did you learn in your algebra? What's another way to write 1 plus r raised to the negative t? Pwedeng paki-chat, guys. Pwedeng paki-chat. What's another way of writing 1 plus r raised to the negative t? So let me write that here. Okay, my question is, ano ba? What's another way to write? Ano ba yung ibang way pa para isulat to? Yan. Kasi notice ang difference ng compound factor at saka discount factor is a negative, no? Okay, so may nag-chat. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Ava. Yeah, you're correct, no? Mark, salamat din. Tama. Mark and Ava, you got the right answer, no? So ang sabi ni Mark at saka ni Ava, yung discount factor na to, okay, so let me, which is, di ba, yung discount factor natin, minumultiply natin sa future value times this factor, which is your discount factor. It's just the same as FB times 1 over 1 plus r raised to the t. So convert natin yung negative na exponent into a positive exponent, but we have to get the reciprocal. It's 1 over that factor. So this can be written as FB, okay, over 1 plus r raised to the t. Okay? So, you notice, guys, that because of this, yung discount factor natin, lumiliit yung, mas maliit yung present value natin kaysa compared to the present future value. Kasi we actually divide, no? We actually divide. Kasi this will be more than 1. It will only become 1. Okay, it will only become 1 when the time is equal to 0. If time is equal to 0, then the whole expression becomes 1, because any number raised to the 0th power is equal to 1. So in that case, guys, the present value is equal to the future value. Okay, so what's that telling us? Na yung present value na 1 million at saka yung future value at times 0 din, okay, are the same. Siyempre, kasi yung present value at times 0 will be the same as the future value at times 0. Kasi hindi naman umalis yung, hindi naman siya nag-compound on a discount ng number of years. Same time pa rin naman siya. Okay, so let's solve some problems. Okay, this is you're given that you have 1 million today. How much will it be 20 years down the road if the rate of return is 12%? Okay, we can do this using the formula. Using this formula, using the compound formula, and then using the Excel function. So let's start with using the formula. Dito muna tayo. So this is equal to, okay, so let me just, palakihan ko lang to para mas makita nyo. So is equal to, so ano yung formula natin? It's your, in order to compute the future value, you have the present value times the compound factor. So this is the present value multiplied by 1 plus your R, your rate. And then how do you raise exponents in Excel? Anybody? Paano ba tayo nag-exponentiate sa Excel? Okay, we have a chat here. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Mark. You're correct. No? Shift 6. Thank you, Basti. You're correct. So depende rin sa sa keyboard nyo. But if you're working with a regular keyboard, it's Shift and then 6. Yung 6, yung caret kasi nasa taas ng 6. Okay, dito pala ako. No? There. And then the time is, the period is B10. Okay, so let me just pause for a while for you to follow the formula. So this is your present value multiplied by 1 plus the rate of return raised to the number of years, T. Okay, so this one is that's our compound factor, and that's 9.64. No? So yung compound factor natin is 1 plus the interest rate raised to the 20, that's 9.64. And then we multiply it by 1 million. So what do you get, guys? Pakichat nga kung ano yung nakuha nyo dun sa present value. Okay, what are you getting, guys? Pakichat yung answer nyo sa future value. So yung 1 million ngayon, magkano siya in 20 years time? If the discount rate is, if the compound factor, if the interest rate is 12%. Okay, 9646. Okay, so Mark, Mika, tapos meron din dito, Eva, yeah. I think you got the correct answer. Thank you. So, yeah, 9646293. Okay, so that's the future value using the formula. Now, we can use the Excel function. Maraming functions sa Excel. Okay, if you want the future value, then there's a function called FV, future value. Okay, before you type the parentheses, ina-explain ni Excel kung ano yung laman ng FV na to. Sabi dito, it returns the future value of an investment. Okay? Future value of an investment. Kasama yung kung sakaling periodic constant payment siya. Sa atin, guys, hindi naman siya periodic, okay, constant payments. No? Hindi siya 1 million every year for the next 20 years. Kasi ang tawag doon, annuity. So sa atin, ano lang, isang single investment lang, single amount, 1 million ngayon, magkano siya after 20 years. So, these are the parameters na kailangan. Yung rate is, we know the rate is 12%. Okay, M per is the number of periods. So that's 20, comma. Okay. Ito yung PMT, guys, is annuity. Annuity is, okay, thank you, Basti, okay. Okay, thank you, Basti. All right, so, ano sabi dito? So we have rate, alam natin yung rate, N per, alam natin 20. Yung PMT, guys, this will be filled up kung may annuity tayo. Now, wala tayong annuity kasi, okay, let me illustrate ano ba yung problem natin dito. So yung problem natin ito, no? Meron tayong cash flow na 1M ngayon. Tinatanong tayo kung magkano yung future value na to. How much is this if our T is equal to 20? So after 20 years, magkano yung cash flow natin? Magkano yung equivalent cash to 1 million today, 20 years down the line, if the required return, if R is equal to 12%. Okay, so yan yung ano natin, no? Yun yung timeline natin, 1, 2, okay, etc. I-cut natin dito, then 19, then 20. So that's the timeline of our cash flow. Okay, so balikan natin yung formula natin. So this is equal to, we're going to use the FB function. Rate is 12%, comma, N per is 20, comma. Since wala tayong annuity, kasi ang annuity, kunwari, tigwa 100 pesos over the next 20 years na constant. No? This is not an annuity problem, guys. So we either type 0, so pwede yun to signify the annuity, or leave it blank. Okay. Pag ginanyan ko, guys, babasahin ni Excel yung value between the two commas as 0. Okay, so 0 lang din yan. Ibig sabihin wala tayong annuity. And then the present value is 1 million. This one. And then for the last one, may type tayo. Okay, now type either end of the period or beginning of the period. Now this only refers to an annuity. So since hindi naman tayo annuity, we can just ignore that. Okay? Ignore ko yan kasi hindi naman tayo, that does not concern us because this is not an annuity. Okay, control enter. All right. Okay, so now we have the same answer, 9646293. However, nanonotice you guys na si Excel, based on the FB function, it gives us a negative answer. Negative yung answer natin. Now, why is that so? Kasi Excel is very strict about the direction of the cash. Okay, so anong nangyari dito, guys, yung present value natin, 1 million. So is that positive or negative? Yung present value natin. Positive or negative ba yung present value natin? Paki-chat nga, please. Yeah, thank you, Mark. Okay, thank you, Eva. Yeah, you're correct, no? Thank you, Ada. Basti, salamat. It's positive. Kita nyo naman, no? Wala namang negative dyan sa harap. It's positive, which means, guys, that if it's positive, guys, ibig sabihin yan, inflow. Papasok yung pera. So we can look at it as a, perhaps it can be a loan, no? Pwede tayo nag-loan ng 1 million. Kunya may bibilhin tayo, nag-loan tayo. So ito yung pumasok na pera sa atin, 1 million. And then 20 years down the road, ang sinasabi sa atin ni Excel, it's a negative, which means it's an outflow. Ibig sabihin, magbabayad tayo. Magbabayad tayo ng 9.6 million. So pag nag-loan tayo ng 1 million now, tapos nag-agree tayo na it's payable in 20 years at 12% interest. So at the end of 20 years, guys, we will have to pay 9646293. Okay? So, pause muna ako, guys. Clear yung kung ba't nagiging ano to? Clear kung ba't nagiging negative. Kunyari, gawin naman natin itong negative. Negative si present value. Di magiging positive siya. So, ganun, guys, yung ano, yung syntax na ginagamit ng Excel. So, pag cash flow, may assumption si Excel na either may inflow, tapos yung baliktad nun should be an outflow or vice versa. Okay, dito, negative 1 million, ibig sabihin, naglabas tayo ng pera, nag-invest tayo. And then after 20 years, positive siya, ibig sabihin, cash inflow naman. Okay, so ibalik ko lang dito. Alright, now, here in this, at this instance, ang gusto lang natin naman yung mag-compute ng values, no? Mag-compute ng values kung magkano yung present value or future value. We're not looking at the direction of the cash flow. So in order to just remove the negative sign, no, two ways here. Number one, pwede natin gawin, kasi ito yung present value, no? Pwede natin gawin yung present value natin as negative. Ibig sabihin nun, the present value is an outflow. Therefore, ang magiging answer niyan, positive yung ano natin, positive yung future value. Or just put it outside here. Okay? Pag gusto lang naman natin yung amount, guys, and we're not really looking at the nature of the transaction, whether it's a loan or it's an investment, hindi natin yung tinitingnan. Ang tinitingnan natin, magkano yung equivalent amount. Okay? So we get now positive. Okay? So this is without regard for the nature of the transaction, no? Kasi pwede siyang loan or pwede siyang investment. So we just want the equivalent value. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin nito, guys, ang equivalent ng 1 million ngayon is 9.646 million after 20 years, assuming that the rate of return is 12%. Okay, ganun ang ibig sabihin niyan. So they are equivalent values. So ano yung implication yan? We will be, okay, the term for that is, in terms of, we are I forget the term. Indifferent, that's the term. We are indifferent. Kunyari, sabi tanong ka, anong gusto mo? 1 million ngayon o 9.646 million in 20 years? Assuming na ang rate of return is 12%, guys. Answer? It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter whether you choose 1 million now or 9.646 million after 20 years, assuming that the rate of return is 12%. We are indifferent about that. We choose 1 million today or 9.6 million after 20 years. It doesn't matter. They are equivalent values. Okay, clear yun, guys? Clear? Chat nga, please, kung clear so far. Yung concept, yung equivalent value ng present value at saka future value. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's good. No? That's good. Okay. Now, what if it was 30 years? I'm going to show you guys yung the power of compounding. Okay. Thank you. Yung power of compounding, kasi tinan nyo guys yung formula natin. Di ba ang compound factor natin is exponentiate si t, raised to the t. So in other words, guys, kapag lumalaki yung t na to, okay, if this increases, then grabe yung difference ng compounding, masyadong lalaki talaga. Okay, so let's take a look at this formula. Can I copy this dito sa cell na to? Pwede ba siya i-copy and we will get the same answer? Paki-chat nga guys kung yes or no. If we can copy this formula to D12 and then F12. Okay, so sandali ha. I-move ko lang to guys. Kindly do the same. Okay, dagdagan din natin dito. Okay, gawin natin itong 12% at saka gawin natin itong 100. Okay, dinagdagan ko lang guys ang isang column na 100 years naman siya. Okay, may I see your answer? Okay, yes, pwede. No? Pwede natin i-copy. So I'm going here, okay, Control C, okay, or Command C yata format, and then go here, Control V. Yeah. And then from here, I can now just drag the formula to the right. Okay. All right. What do you notice, guys? What do you notice? Pag 30 years, guys, yung ano natin, yung number of periods, notice that the 9.6 million becomes 29.959 million. Magdagdag ka lang ng another 10 years, from 29, hindi linear, guys, hindi linear yung relationship. Okay, it's an exponential relationship, 93. Tapos magdagdag tayo ng kunyari doblehin natin to 80. Okay, kung 80 years, notice, pag 80 years, guys, this is already 8 billion. Okay, so hindi lang na doble, no? Kasi ang doble nitong if you take, sabi natin, 40 to 80 years na doble yung yung result, so madodoble yung amount natin, hindi. So far from that, guys. Okay, kasi ang doble 186 million lang, pero ito 8 billion na. So that's around, sabihin natin 2, that's around 2, 5 times. That's around 40 times, no? 40, 45 times bigger. Okay, so that's what we call the power of compounding. Okay, and this, guys, i-apply natin to, no? Later on, guys, pag-uusapan natin investment. So it's very important for you at a young age, no? At a young age na hindi nyo lang kunyari may ano na kayo, kunyari nagtatrabaho na kayo, of if you're earning now, do not just put your money at the bank kasi wala masyadong compounding doon, no? Mas maganda, for example, let me tell you of an investment vehicle. Kunyari insurance. Kasi sa insurance, covered ka na for life, covered ka pa dun sa pera mo. Kasi lalo kung variable yan, ibig sabihin, meron ka ring savings doon. So yung makukuha mo, kunyari, after 40 years, okay, knock on wood naman na you're still alive, you'll get something, guys, dun sa insurance policy na binili nyo. Ibig sabihin, covered na yung kung sino man yung beneficiary mo, covered na, if something happens to you, then they benefit from that. Unlike kung bangko lang guys, walang mangyayari. If a person dies, what happens? Ano yun, magdo-donors tax yung estate tax, no? Hindi lahat 'yan mapupunta dun sa kung sino man yung yung magi-inherit nun. May share yung government doon na malaki. Ang insurance guys, walang non-taxable 'yan. Yes, Basti, you were asking something?
Sir, how did you compute po for the 186 million?
Ito, sorry. Ito guys, ang ginawa ko lang, dinoble ko lang, no? Kasi nagdoble yung years natin, from 40 naging 80 siya. So you might be thinking, magdodoble lang yung pera natin, no? But that's not true, no? Pag compounding tayo, pag exponential compounding, look, hindi nagdoble yung pera natin, no? So in fact dito, from 9 million, from 20 years to 40 years, nagdoble yung years, pero hindi doble yung hindi doble yung future value. Ang doble kasi nito, mga 20 million lang. Pero ang doble na nito, in 40 years, naging 93 million siya. And that's what we call the power of compounding. Ganun din guys, for example, later on, if you invest in a policy insurance, yung dyan, at the earlier years, wala ka pa masyado makukuha dyan. Pero as you go down the line, guys, kunyari at 20 years old, na kayo, tapos, and faithfully, hinuhulugan mo yun, investment mo kasi yun, by the time you reach 60, guys, you'll be surprised. Kaysa pinunta mo lang sa bangko yun. That's the power of compounding. No? And I'd like you to encourage you about that. When we go to chapter 5, module 5, magtitingin tayo sa investment, no? And personal finance, yung pag-uusapan natin. So as early as now, maganda kung medyo naghahanda na rin kayo. So wag na muna kayo bumili ng kasi what's an investment? An investment is putting your money in a place where you forego the benefit of the present in order to gain in the future. Yun technical ang ibig sabihin ng investment, guys. So instead of buying that latest na Samsung Note o Samsung na yung S whatever, no? Hindi ko bibilihin yung 60,000 na iPhone. Ang gagawin ko diyan, ipe-place ko yung pera ko sa investment. Ipupunta ko yung pera ko, kunyari, bibili ako ng policy. And every year or whatever, huhulugan ko yan. So that's an investment kasi you forego the benefit of the present. Kasi may pino-forego ka, di ba? Para may opportunity cost ka. Okay, so hindi ko muna bibilin yung iPhone na yan. Yung latest, although nangangati na yung kamay ko na gusto kong bilhin yon, I will forego of that. So there's a benefit in buying iPhone today, guys, di ba? May benefit yun kasi you enjoy, you have kung mahilig ka whatever apps you use, or iPad or iPhone. Not to say that hindi siya kailangan, I'm not saying that. Pero kung kaya naman, guys, na hindi ka bumili ng bagong bagong model na yun, and then put your money elsewhere, di ba? Di mas maganda, no? Mas maganda na ipasok mo yung pera mo, na forgo mo yung benefit ngayon, quote-unquote enjoyment of using that gadget, and then sa future, guys, yun ang mo, doon ang return sa'yo, no? So that's technically what an investment is, no? Okay, and when you invest, guys, there's a depende sa instrument, depende din sa vehicle. Kunyari sa insurance, may power of compounding yan. Kunyari kung variable yan, no? Kasi aside from the fact na insured kung sino man yung yung beneficiary doon, if something happens to you, meron silang makukuha. Meron ka ring parang double-edged tool, no? Ikaw din, kung wala namang mangyari sa iyo after safe ka pa rin, o we're still alive after, let's say, 40 years, assuming na nag-invest tayo in 20 years time, guys, ang laki na ng ang laki ng makukuha niyo doon, no? So that's why I'd like to encourage you to do that. And that's because, guys, of the power of compounding. Okay, tingnan lang natin dito, mag-insert tayo ng panibagong worksheet dito. Okay, so I'm going to, lakihan ko lang yung font. Tapos lakihan ko lang din yung, okay, so let's assume, gawin natin 12% kanina. 12% and then we have 1 million today. Okay. Tingnan natin, guys, yung power of compounding. So we have 1 million today. Okay, we'd like to know how much will this be after 5 years, 10 years, etc. Going down to, gawin natin hanggang 100 years. Okay, so let me start with 5 years and then 10 years. Okay, 15, 20. How do I guys easily create a series of numbers with increments of 5? 5, 10, 15, 20. Any suggestion? Kasi kung isa-ising pa yan, matagal yan. 25, 30. Tagal, di ba? 35, 40. Is there a shortcut to do this? Hanggang 100, guys? Any suggestion?
Sir,
Yes? Who's
I
this,
think
please?
if it's Hans.
Hans, sige. Thank you, Hans.
So I believe if you select some of the cells, so like 5 to 25
Okay.
or 5 to 40, and then there's this arrow, there's this box on the corner of the cell.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Thank you,
can drag
Hans.
it down and fill series. I think
Correct.
it will.
Correct. Actually, Hans, kahit yung first two lang. Kasi may establish na ni Excel yung pattern. 5, 10, mahuhulaan niya, this is in increments of 5. So, thank you, Hans. That's correct, no? Perfect
Oh, sir.
answer. Yes?
I got a different. Well, I mean,
may
I have
iba.
a
Sige.
similar. No, medyo similar man. But what
Okay.
I did, I took advantage of the function. So sa A1, it's 5.
Okay.
And then I did cosine A1 plus 5. And then I
yeah,
just
okay.
did the drag it down.
Yeah, thank you, Basti. That's another way, no? So let's take a look at both ways. Yung kay Hans, sabi niya, identify natin yung series. 5, 10, yung first two lang pa pwede na. No? Kung hindi pa ma-establish, magdagdag ka pa ng isa. No? Kasi minsan mahirap yung pattern. No? 5, 10, and then sabi ni Hans, i-drag mo lang until you reach 100. There. Okay? So that's correct. That's one way. Ang kay Basti naman, sabi niya, we start with 5, and then sabi ni Basti, okay, is equal to, you refer to the previous value, and then you add the increment, the 5. Yeah. Okay, we drag this. Pareho din. Yeah. Okay? Thank you both, no? Thank you. So parehong tama sila, no? Hans and Basti, paki-remind ako, +2 kayo, ha? Marami na akong utang sa inyo. Hindi ko pa nare-record, please. Just remind me of that, no? So these are pluses para dun sa mga bonus natin at the end of the term. Okay, thank you, Hans. Thank you, Basti. Okay, ang problema natin sa dalawang formula na to, what if it's a long series? Okay, kunyari, mag-generate nga tayo ng 5, 10 increments of 5 hanggang 1 million. Good luck, guys. Di ba? Good luck sa atin kasi pag sabihin na natin gawin, no? Di ba? Ala, hanggang 1 million, guys. Kailan pa tayo matatapos yan? Drag lang ako ng drag. Napagod na ako, guys. Oops, mali pa yata yung form. Mali pa yata yung formula ko. Mali, no? Sorry, mali yung nagawa ko sa ni Basti. Ganyan, no? Dapat ganyan, no? Okay. So, pero pag up to 1 million lang yan, guys, good luck sa atin. So that will not work. Mahirap yun pag mahaba yung series. So any suggestion, guys? Any suggestion? So the two methods, yung sinuggest ni Hans at saka ni Basti, they're excellent if you have only a short series. However, if you have a long series already, okay, then that can be a problem. So is there another way, guys? That's sabi natin, guys, at the start of the term, sabi natin, one of our objectives is to become more adept in the use of Excel, yung mga techniques, yung mga tools na pwede natin magamit sa kanya. And this is just one of them, no? Ano pa kaya pwede natin magawa dito? So, sandali, So, i-delete ko na muna to, pati ito. So, both methods are correct, no? Kaso, they will work only if you have a short series. At 1,000, pwede pa naman, no? 2,000, longer. 10,000, longer na. Pero kung 1 million na, guys, then we have a problem. Kung up to 1 million na yung amount natin. So one way to do this, guys, is you start with this one. Isa lang kailangan natin. And then we make use of the fill function in Excel. Meron siyang fill function. So from home, yung home na tab, and then we go to the editing ribbon here. Editing here. And then may makikita kayong fill. So click this. Okay, nakita nyo na, guys, yung fill. You get it, guys? Okay. Yeah, okay, good. So balik ako. So you start with the first number, yung 5. No? Dito tayo lagi magsisimula, yung unang number natin. And then we go to home and then editing. Okay, yung ribbon natin. And then here is your field. And then go to series. Yan. Okay, so we can now create several series. No? So pwede ka pang either in rows or columns yung series natin. Yung type pwedeng linear, pwedeng a certain growth factor, pwedeng growth, no? Pwedeng date. Okay? Kung everyday ba yan, o weekday, o month, o year, we can create a series like that. Or pwedeng autofill. No? Okay, so let's go to linear kasi by 5 yung increment natin, ano? And then series in columns. There. Yan, series in columns. And then step value dito, so linear siya, step value is 5. Yan, 5. Ibig sabihin, from 5, linear, magdadagdag siya ng 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And then step value, dito na guys yung advantage natin. We can put here 1 million. Yan, 1 million guys. Okay? So, okay. There. Voila, 1 million na. Diba? So, mas convenient, mas practical, and it allows us to use the functionality of Excel. Okay, clear guys? Again, dito muna guys, dito muna kayo sa first row, yan ang magiging starting natin. Home, editing, sa field, and then series. Okay, just take note of the, kasi pag naka-row pa, row-wise siya ilalagay. Column kasi yung gusto natin. Okay, column. And then linear, step value is 5. Now, ang gusto lang natin kasi 100, no? So, ganito lang kakalabasan niya. Pag 100 lang, then hanggang 100 lang siya. Kaso meron na, no? Okay. So, let me repeat this. Home, field, series, columns, step value, 5, and up to 100 lang. Okay. So, there. Pag maliit lang naman, pwede naman yung kanina. Either yung formula or pwede yung first two and then copy down na lang. Okay? Alright, so yan na, no? Okay. So now we'll now guys compute for the ang gusto natin mapakita dito yung power of compounding, no? So we'd like to compute for the future value. So this is equal to, ang future value natin will be based on, maglagay lang tayo ng negative na para positive yung makuha natin answer. Let's apply what we learned a while ago, negative future value. Okay, ang rate natin is 12%. So what do we do with this 12%, guys? We fix, di ba? Fix natin yung if-fix lang natin yung row kasi we're going to copy the formula pababa, no? Pababa yung pag-copy natin, which means that the column position is not changing, so no need to fix the column. Okay, comma. And per natin will be ito. So no need to fix that kasi it has to follow as we go down. Comma, PMT is na, wala tayong PMT, hindi annuity to. Present value is this one, and then naka-fix din siya. Naka-fix din yung row natin, $3 para so that when we copy down, hindi siya aalis sa row na yun. Row 3 lang siya. Hindi aalis siya sa 1 million. And control enter, there. So i-copy na lang natin yung format nito. Okay. Alright, any questions with the formula? I-flash ko muna yung formula. Okay, ang question ko guys, nagawa nyo ba yung formula, nasundan nyo? Paki-chat na lang kung yes or no, para alam ko kung sino yung nakakasunod, please. Who among you were able to follow this formula? Okay, thank you. 6 pa lang. I hope the others will be able to follow. 7. Okay, we're 28. Sana mag-more than, sana pag makasunod yung 20 students, I'll be happy. Okay, so 10. I'm assuming, hindi ko pa tinitingnan yung chat, guys. Kasi gusto ko malaman kung ilang number yung nag-chat. So far, 11. Okay, so let's target, guys, na halos sa inyo, lahat sa inyo naka-ano ng formula na yan. So I won't start unless most of us were able to copy the formula or write the formula. So 11 pa lang, I'm still waiting for 16. Okay, thank you. Okay, wala pa tayong 50%. Sana makaabot ba lang tayo ng 50 to 60%. Okay, let's give a few more seconds to the others. So create kayo ng ganitong model, guys, kasi gusto natin makita yung compounding effects. No? Power ng compounding. Okay, wala na, 12 lang, guys. A few more seconds, please. Sana madagdagan. Sana may ibang sumusunod sa sumusunod sa model natin. Wala na. Ibig sabihin 15 or 16, guys, hindi nakakasunod ng model natin. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for those who responded. Kasi medyo mababa yung natin, no? Mababa yung yung participation rate. It didn't even reach 50% kasi 12 out of 28 lang. I hope, guys, sa iba pang mga susunod na questions, tumaas naman yung participation rate natin. Kasi hindi ko talaga alam kung bakit. Kasi it really bothers me in one way. Of course, wala akong control kasi, no? Kasi pag nasa classroom tayo, pwede ko kayong nasusubaybayan ko kayo, na-coach ko kayo, napupuntahan ko kayo sa mga tuition. Dito kasi wala, yun ang problem natin. Dito wala akong access dun sa so sometimes I'm tempted to think that some of you just had your attendance check pero wala nang hindi na nag-continue. Umalis sa monitor, hindi na nakakasubaybay. Okay, so I hope you got 1762 and then I'll just click this. Okay. So tingnan natin, guys, yung power of compounding. So every 5 additional years, pag nagdodoble, hindi naman times 2 yung money. Kunyari, between 10 and 20 years, doubling yan ng years, di ba? From 3 million, naging 9 million. 20 to 40, from 9, naging 93. 25 to 50, 17 million, naging 289 million. So it's not a linear relationship. And if I i-ano natin to, okay, i-plot natin. So insert. So let's use the scatter plot. Insert, and then let's use this. Right. So you can see here, guys, the power of compounding. You can see here the rise of the future value. Hindi siya linear, hindi siya parang ganito, hindi siya, it's not something like this. Insert, let me insert a shape. Okay. Hindi siya ganyan, no? Pag linear kasi ganyan yung trend lang, linear lang siyang ganyan. Pero guys, pag exponential, look. So that's why guys, yung sinasabi ko, it really makes sense to invest not in the bank but in other investment vehicles like insurance, no? Kasi makikita natin dyan yung power of compounding. Pag insurance guys, you have that, and also other mutual funds, no? May power, may ano din yun, may stocks also have exponential growth. Okay, so that was just to highlight yung power of compounding. Kasi sinabi natin, tinignan natin, pag 80 years, pag 100 years, ano na grabe. O, di ba? 83 million. Di ba? Nagsimula lang sa 9 million. Kaya in 100 years time, that 9 million became 83 billion. That's how huge the power of compounding is. Okay, now as the question, ito, paano to? No? How long will it take our money to grow, to double? Paano ba? Gaano katagal lalaki yung pera natin? Okay, kunyari, let's say, in 10 years, no? So we can compute for the future value. Future value is equal to, rate natin is 12%, comma, and then N per natin number of periods is ito, okay, comma, PMT is ignore kasi hindi naman sa annuity, present value is 1 million. Okay, so that's the computation for our future value. Okay, ibig sabihin nito guys, na in 10 years, yung 1 million natin magiging 3 million if the rate is 12%. So ibig sabihin, guys, it means that we need less than 10 years para madoble yung pera natin. Gusto natin maging 2 million to. So how do we solve this, guys? How do we solve this? We can make use of the what if tool. Yung goal seek natin. Nagamit na natin to dati, no? So we go here to data. Nandito yung what if analysis natin sa forecast. Goal seek. Okay. So ready na to model natin eh. Okay? Ang set cell natin, what do we set, guys? What do we set? Okay, chat please. Set will be H10. Ava, thank you. Set is H10, H10. You're correct. No? So set daw H10. Ito ang gusto natin. No? To what value? Anong value natin gusto to, guys? Yeah. Thank you, Ava. You're correct. Thank you, Mark. That's 2 million. No? 2 million. By changing what cell? By changing what cell? Okay, Basti, thank you. Sorry, Ada pala to. Sorry. Eva, Ada, you're correct. Thank you. Basti, H12, correct. By changing ito. Ibig sabihin, solve ni Excel yan. Hahanapin niya kung ilang years ba dapat to so that this one will become 2 million. Okay, okay? There. So 6 years, no? 6 years. So it will take us 6 years to double, no? May formula silang tinatawag, yung shortcut formula, just an approximate, yung 72, parang the power of 72. Ano yung power of 72? So, gagamitin natin 72 para malaman natin kung gaano kabilis madodoble yung pera natin. No? So, for example, power of 72. Ang gagawin natin dyan, isulat ko lang dito 72. 72. So, i-divide mo yung 72 to the by oops. Okay, so tatanggalin natin guys yung ano, 72. Dapat guys yung ano yung tatanggalin natin percentage na. So that's around 6 years approximately lang to. Okay, so shortcut lang yan, quick ano lang yan, quick, hindi siya exact, no? We can of course compute for it yung exact number of years, pero ito shortcut. So for example, kunyari lang meron tayong 20, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yan, 20,000. How long will your 20,000, guys? How long will your 20,000 double? Okay, if the interest rate is 5%. 5% to interest rate is 5%. Gano katagal guys bago ma-double yung pera natin? So the answer is 72 divided by 5, di ba? So around 14.4 years. Okay? So we can check that. Okay, check natin palitan natin 'to ng ano palitan natin 'to ng 20,000, 20, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So this is 5%. So mag-goal sheet tayo nito. Check lang natin guys, what if analysis, goal seek, set cell, this one equal to 40 million by changing this cell. Okay, so mga 14 yan. Okay, approximate to yung power of 72. So it's 72 divided by the percent, the rate of return, the interest rate. Tanggalin nyo lang yung ano yung percent. Okay, clear yun? So na-approximate niya, no? Ito exactly 14.21. 14.21 yung approximate natin is around 14.4. Okay, pause muna ako. Any questions guys? Clear ba yun yung doubling effect? Okay, 72, no? So just a quick parang quick estimate kung gaano kalaki madodoble yung pera natin based on a certain percentage. Okay, so let's go back here. May question ba? Okay, pa-repeat. Ulitin ko Okay, kasi yung question natin dito, sabi natin, gusto natin malaman kung how long yung 20 million natin, kanina 1 million, di ba? Ito ginawa kong 20 million. How long will it become 40 million? Okay, if the rate of return is 5%. So ginamit natin dito guys yung goal seek. Ulitin natin yung goal seek natin. So here we use the FB function. So this is your rate. Ang rate natin 5%. And per ito, ito and per natin H12. And then PMT natin wala, present value natin is H9, itong 20,000. Okay, and then naglagay tayo ng negative dito just to remove the negative sign. Okay, tapos 5%. So gusto natin malaman kung ilang years. So again guys, yung natin data, and then what if analysis, goal seek. Set cell natin, ano yung set cell natin? We want this one to be equal to 40. Okay, gusto natin siya maging 40 kasi gusto natin madoble yung 20 million by changing this cell. Although yan ay answer natin, ano? Okay. So we get 14 years. 14.21 years. It will take us 14.21 years for our money to double if the rate of return is 5%. Okay. Now there's a shortcut, no? Kasi ito nag-goal seek tayo. Ang shortcut doon could be yung power of 72. You just divide 72 with the interest. Tanggalin nyo lang yung yung percent. So dito, it's 72 divided by 5. I remove the percentage. That gives us 14.4, which is very close to 14.1. Ito approximate lang to. Ito yung mas eksakto. Okay, okay. Thank you, Basti, for that question. All right. Okay, so let's go to the reverse naman. Ang reverse naman, guys, yung present value. Kasi sabi natin, di ba, equivalent tong pera na to, yung 9.6 million in 20 years time, at a rate of 12% will be equal to 1 million. So we are indifferent to getting 1 million now or 9.6 million after 20 years. So kung kunin naman natin present value, guys, we should be getting 1 million. Kasi pareho lang yung parameters natin, 20 years and 12%. So let's use the formula. The formula natin, di ba, ito? To get the present value, that's equal to future value times 1 plus r raised to the negative t, or we divide 1 plus r raised to the t. So let me do that. So our future value is 9.6 million. Itong 9.6 million natin nito, guys, kinapi lang natin to doon sa taas. Okay, ulitin ko . So this is just copied from this one para eksaktong 1 million yung makukuha natin. So therefore, this is equal to the future value multiplied by 1 plus the interest rate, okay, B18, and then raised to the shift 6 negative. Okay, so that should be negative t, guys, no? So we get 1 million. Just to illustrate, if we use future value divided by then parenthesis 1 plus r, then raised to the time. Okay, pwede na pala yan. So, dinivide natin yung 1 plus r raised to the positive time na. No? Control enter. So we have the same value, guys. $1 million, pareho lang. Okay, sandali . Wait, kasi lipat ko to dito. Tapos dito is equal to, so Excel function natin, we use the PV function, PV. And I'm going to put negative so that ang answer natin positive din. Okay, N per is 20, comma. Sorry. Na-miss ko yung una. Rate muna. Rate is B18, comma. N per is 20, comma. There is no annuity. Walang PMT. So ignore. Future value is this amount, 9. And then type ignore because this refers to annuity. There. So same answer, guys. No? Whether we use the Excel function of PV or we use the formula, it will give us the same answer. Okay. Any questions, guys? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Clear? Okay. All right. So good. Thank you so much. Okay. So ganun, guys, yung future value, present value, they are just equivalent functions. Okay. So sabi nga natin, ano mas preferred natin, yung 1 million today or 9.64 million after 20 years, assuming the rate of return is 12%? Wala. They're equivalent, guys. No? They're equivalent. So we are indifferent to the choice of whether it's 1 million now or 9.65 9.65 million in 20 years time at a rate of 12%. Okay. So let's now go to annuity. Ito na yung minimension ko kanina. Okay, medyo complicated yung formula ng annuity, guys. No? Okay, this is the formula to get the payment, okay, given the present value. Okay, this is now the formula naman to get the present value of an annuity. Okay, so you can either use this or we can use the function in Excel. So explore natin pareho. No? We will explore both. So first, i-discuss natin ano ba yung iba't ibang klaseng annuity. Dalawang klase yan. We have annuity ordinary and annuity due. Anong difference? Okay, ang difference sila, okay, the transaction starts now at year 0. No? Ang annuity ordinary, the cash flow will start at the end of the period. So nagsimula tayo sa time 0. Okay? So the cash flow will start at the end of, so dito magsisimula, ano? Okay, hindi kaagad, no? The cash flow will start at the end of the period. So ibig sabihin, it will start at year 1. Yan. Kaya andi dito yung 2,000 natin. 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Okay? 2,000, 2,000. So 5. Take note, guys, uniform. 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Okay, uniform stream of cash flows, pare-pareho. That's what we call an annuity. Yan. And then the annuity, guys, are of two types. It's ordinary and then annuity due. So sa ordinary, it begins at the end of the period. So transaction held today, and then you have to, at the end of the period, saka magsisimula yung cash flow. On the other hand, annuity due, transaction now, immediately, guys, andyan yung cash flow, 2,000. Okay? So may mali dito, pakitanggal to, ha? Wala dapat to. So 5 lang na 2,000. No? 5 lang na 2,000. Ito, guys, immediately yan. You have immediately 2,000. And then, so now, and then after 1 year, the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. So you have 5 uniform stream of cash flows. Ito din, 5 din. The only difference is the timing. So ordinary, at the end of the period pa. Si due, at the beginning of the period. So please take note of that. And then, who do you think, guys, has a higher present value? Which of this has a higher present value? Si annuity ordinary or annuity due? Which would have, which? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Renzo. Thank you. Hans, salamat. No? You're correct. Okay. All right. So your answers, guys, annuity due, it's correct. It will have the higher present value. And because it has the higher present value, of course, it will have the higher future value. Okay? So, ang comparison natin, guys, pareho silang 2,000 na 5. No? Yung isa, magsisimula immediately. Yung isa, at the end of the first period. Okay, so the annuity due will always have the higher present value or the higher future value. Okay, so let's illustrate this. Okay, gawin na lang natin itong 100. No? Okay, so dito illustrate natin, illustrate natin to. So let's have an annuity ordinary. So this is the transaction date, then the cash flow will start at the end of the period. So gawin na natin 100 para mas mabilis. 100 hanggang 30 years. Okay, 30 years, guys, 30 payments of 100. That is an annuity. Okay, So uniform dapat guys ha. Kung magkakaiba yan, hindi annuity yan. Kunyari 100, 200, 500, 400, 300. That is not an annuity. Okay? An annuity is a uniform, a constant stream of cash flows. Okay. So how do we compute for the present value of this? There are two ways, no? You can use the Excel function. Okay? May direct na Excel function yung PV, or what we can do is to convert this first into present values. So when are we going to get this 100? That's after 1 year. No? Itong 200 after 2 years. So pwede natin muna i-convert sila present values. Okay? Lagyan ko lang ng ano to, ha? Ibang kulay. So we can use the PV function, negative PV. Okay, so we will not treat this as an annuity. We will treat this as a single cash flow. So what will be our rate? Okay, sandali. Gayahin na lang natin yung rate dito. Rate dito is 10%. So ito gawin na lang natin 100, no? To be consistent. 100 din to. Para pareho sa example natin. 10%. I'll copy the rate here. Okay, so our rate here is, rate natin dito is 10%. Ay, mali. 10%, guys. So we can compute for the present values of this. So that's equal to negative PV. Okay, our rate is 10%. Then we fix this kasi ikakopy natin siya along this column, no? To the right. So dapat na naka-fix dito yung, sorry, along this row pala. So dapat na naka-fix dito yung column. Okay? We're not fixing the row position kasi hindi naman nagbabago yung row position. Row 16 lang naman siya. Pag kinapin natin to the right. So that's our rate. Our anchor is of course this one. And we don't fix that kasi gusto natin sumunod to dun pag kinapin natin yung formula. Comma, we're not treating this as PMT. Ang ginagawa natin guys, kino-convert natin siya into single cash flows. Okay, so it will be future value. Pagpunta ka sa year 2, future value yung 100 na yan because that's to be obtained in 2 years time. Type ignore because we're not treating this as annuity. Okay. So tatanggalin ko lang yung dollar. Number lang, 2 decimal places. Okay. So 90.91. And then, if I copy to the right, okay, yan ang present value sila. Ano ibig sabihin itong 5.73? Magkano yung 100, which will be obtained 30 years from now, magkano siya ngayon? So the equivalent is 5.73, assuming that the interest rate is 10%. Okay? So you notice guys, habang lumalayo ng lumalayo from today, lumiliit ng lumiliit yung present values. If we extend this guys, kung aabot pa kunyari ng 100 years, halos wala na yon. Okay? So, alright, back to my question. Ito guys, mga present values na to, no? Mga present values na to. Can we now add them? Yes or no, please? Pwede ba natin i-add na sila? Okay. Answer is yes, correct, no? Pwede natin silang i-add. We can now add them kasi okay, is equal to sum. Yan. Okay. 942. So what does that mean, guys? Yung stream cash flow stream na 100 next year and then 100 ulit, 100 for the next 30 years, that is equivalent to 942.69, assuming the rate of return is 10%, at 10%. No? So, ano mas gusto natin? 942.69 ngayon or 100 na annuity for the next, annuity ordinary, 100 for the next 30 years. Sino mas gusto, guys? A or B? What do you prefer? 942.69 now or 100 for the next 30 years? Ano yung preference nyo? Yung A, yung 942. Yung B, yung 100 for the next 30 years. Paki-chat nga, please. A or B kayo? Okay, A. How about the rest, guys? Rancho, thank you. Yung iba, anong preference nyo, guys? Ulitin ko, anong preference nyo? 942 now or 100 from year 1 next year until year 30? Okay, so si Renzo, ang mas gusto niya yung 942 now, no? Si Basti, ang gusto niya yung annuity. Si Mark naman, annuity. Yung iba, guys, Mika, annuity. Okay? Yung iba, guys, may I know your answer, guys. Anong gusto niyo? 942 ngayon or 100 for the next 30 years? Every year. Annuity. Thank you, Pia. Okay, a few more, guys. Okay, Kirsten. All right, mukhang mas maraming mas gustong annuity, no? So that's good. Annuity 100 for the next 30 years. Okay din naman yung 942. So ang answer dyan, guys, ang answer is we are indifferent. It doesn't matter, guys. Diba? Kasi how did we compute for 942? Assuming na 10% yung interest rate, guys, we will be indifferent to whether we get 100 for the next 30 years or 942 now because they are equivalent cash flows. Okay? They are equivalent cash flows. Clear ba, guys? Basi, sorry, what's your question? You'll still get 942 po, di ba? What do you mean by that? If you go the annuity route. Yes, oo. Yeah, you end up, it's the same, no? Ang sinasabi natin dito, yung 100 na to for the next 30 years, okay? Kung tinanong tayo, magkano equivalent present value niyan? The equivalent present value is 942.69. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Yeah, you end up getting 942. So they are equivalent. Kasi how did we prove that? No? Diba? Yung 100, ang ginawa natin dito, kinuha natin yung present value. Ito, 90.61. Ito, 82, 75, etc. So we have 30 na present, 30 na values ng present value. Now, ang tanong ko, di ba, pwede na ba natin i-add yan? Yes, pwede na kasi lahat sila present values na. No? Okay, and the equivalent amount is 942. Okay, so let's see guys kung pareho lang yan dito. We can compute this directly kasi ito pinalongkat pa natin eh. Kinumpute pa natin isa-isa. No? And then we added. Ito, we can directly go to the present value function of Excel. PV, in-negative ko siya para positive yung lalabas na answer. Rate is 10%, comma. What's our NPER? So we'd like to get the present value of this annuity of 100. Ilang years siya? 30, no? 30 years yung NPER natin. Okay? 30 years then, comma. Ano yung PMT? Ito yung ilalagay natin ngayon. It's a PMT of 100. Okay, so alam ni Excel, 30 years to na PMT 100, ibig sabihin to 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Okay? Comma, future value wala, no? Kasi annuity lang to eh, no? Wala namang sa dulo 100 tapos sa dulo meron pang 1,000. Kasi may mga ganong cash flows. May annuity na, meron pang future value. But in this case, it's just an annuity of 100. Okay, so wala tayong future value. So either type 0 or ignore. And then dito na guys sa dulo, no? So what do we put here? 0 or 1? 0 is at the end of the period. So that means annuity ordinary. 1 means at the beginning beginning of the period, guys. So that means annuity due. Okay, ano annuity ito, guys? Is this ordinary or due? Okay. Ano, guys? Okay, thank you. Ordinary, no? So you're correct. This is annuity ordinary. So since this is annuity ordinary, pwede natin i-tab na lang, no? Pwede natin i-0. Okay, so that means annuity ordinary siya. Which is correct kasi wala tayong cash flow sa year 0, di ba? At the end of the period pa nagsimula. Now, since this is 0, we can do that, okay? Control Enter. Yan, 942. Pareho yung answer, di ba? Or, pwede nating tanggalin yung 0. Kasi 0 naman siya. Tapos pwede rin natin tanggalin to. So yan guys, walang future value. 0. Wala ring type. 0 din siya, which means ordinary. Control Enter. Yeah. So we get the same answer. All right? So, pag ano naman guys, pag due, so ito 100, simula kagad yung cash flow, 100. Yan. So hanggang 29, no? And you have 30, ano yan, 30, 100 din. Okay, so this is annuity due. Ilagay ko lang dito, ah. Okay, so just like above, we can get the present values. So kunin natin present value nito. It's equal to negative PV. Ang rate natin, again, pareho na 10%. We fix the column kasi kakopy natin along the row. NPER is ito, yung NPERs natin. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, number of periods natin. PMT, again, we're going to treat this as an individual, 100. And then, since this is an individual cash flow, wala tayong future value, wala tayong type. So we can just ignore that. Okay. Wait. No, sorry. So this is not an annuity, guys. Sorry, ah. Ang ginagawa natin, individual cash flow to. So yan, sorry, mali ako. So dapat dun siya papasok sa future value. Okay, ignore the type. Okay. So, of course, guys, ang present value ng 100 is also 100. Okay, so, abihin ko lang yung ano ito. Control 1, lagay ko lang number para walang dollar sign. Okay, and then, copy to the right. There. So notice guys, pare-pareho lang sila ng present values, no? Ang pagkakaiba lang, si annuity due wala siyang 5.73. Pero meron siyang 100 sa simula. Meron 100 siya. Si annuity ordinary, may 90.91 din siya, pero wala siyang 100. So yung difference ng dalawang yun ang difference ng ng annuity due at saka annuity ordinary. So we get the sum here. The sum of the present values, which we can do that, guys, kasi mga present values na sila. Okay, so you see, guys, that the present value of an annuity due is greater than the present value of an annuity ordinary. Sorry, formula saan, Basti? Sorry, napabilis ko. Formula sa present values ba? So for the present values, ito yung formula natin.
Sir, okay na po. I found out na.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Basti.
Thank you po.
Okay. Then since naka-present value na siya, pwede natin siya i-add. Okay? So yung long cut lang yan, kasi iniisa-isa pa natin. But automatically, we can just get the present value using yung annuity na 100. So ang rate natin is 12%, 10% pala. 10%, comma, NPER. So we're now going to use the PMT. No? And per 30 years ng annuity. Tapos, comma, what's our PMT? It's 100. So, ang sinasabi natin dyan kay Excel, 100 for 30 years, no? Comma, future value. Walang F future value. No? And then, ano to? What do we use here? Since this is annuity due, guys, it should be beginning of the period 1. Yun. Okay, so kailangan natin ipasok yung 1, guys, kung annuity due. Otherwise, magkakamali tayo. There. 1036. Okay, 1036.96. So pareho siya. So of course, mas preferred natin to, no? Kasi diretso na to. Ito kasi, kukunin pa natin yung present values ng bawat isang future cash flows. Okay, so ito guys dito. So ito pareho lang, ano? It's just the same. So 100 din to, 10% rate, number of payments. Okay, so let's compare the present value if it's ordinary. By the way, guys, kung hindi binabanggit kung ordinary or due siya, always assume that it's annuity ordinary. Okay, kasi mas common yun. If it's if it doesn't mention kung annuity ordinary siya, then or annuity due, then always assume that it's annuity ordinary. Okay, so if it's annuity ordinary, again yung ginawa natin to kanina, present value. Ang rate natin is 10%, comma, NPER is 30 years, comma, PMT natin 100. Okay? So wala tayong future value, so ignore ko to. Type is 0. So kung titingnan natin tong syntax na to, guys, you can just delete 0, you can delete the future value. So pwedeng tatlo lang yung parameters natin. Kasi pag wala tayong ilagay dun sa future value at saka sa ano, sa type, Excel will read that as 0, 0. 0 yung future value, 0 yung type, which means annuity ordinary. Okay? So we get 942, di ba? Tapos pag due, negative PV, rate is 10%, comma, NPER is 30, comma, PMT is 100, comma, walang future value, and the type is 1. Dito tayo nagkakatalo. So this is annuity due. Yeah. Okay, now I leave you guys to work on this. Ito present value. No? Sige, gawin na natin ito. No? So, this is the formula to get the present value of an annuity. P, okay, which is the annuity, times quantity 1 minus 1 plus R raised to the negative N. Okay, N is your 30 and R is your 10%. Okay, I'll leave that as an exercise to you guys. This is annuity, ordinary annuity. So you should get 942 here. Okay, as an exercise, guys, gawin nyo dito yan. Okay, how about the future value, guys? So future value, ganun din, no? Future value, okay, let's assume, again, walang binabanggit dito, guys, kung annuity ordinary or annuity due. Therefore, ang assumption kagad nito, annuity ordinary. FB naman, FB, the rate is 10%, comma, NPER is 30, comma, PMT of 100, comma, walang present value, type is 0, so just ignore that. Ready na to? Control Enter. So, yung 100 guys every year for the next 30 years is equal to 16,449.4. Okay? So it's time, guys. May I have this? Ito na lang last formula to, and then we'll continue with this next meeting, yung annuity na. So dito, guys, future value naman. Remember, guys, yung 100 na stream of cash flows for 30 years, equivalent siya sa 942. Okay? Equivalent din siya sa 16,449 after 30 years. So lahat ng mga yan, equivalent yan. Okay? So kung equivalent siya, guys, dapat pag kinompute natin yung future value based on 942, dapat we also get 16,449. So this is what I mean. So negative FB, we're going to get the future value based on 942. Okay? Kasi kung 940 na tuta na to, equivalent dun sa 100 for 30 years, then I should be getting the same future value. Okay? So the rate is 10%, comma, number of periods is also 30, comma, walang PMT, hindi natin ginagamit yung PMT. Ang ginagamit natin yung present value na 942.69. Okay? Present value. And then ignore the type kasi hindi naman annuity yung tinitingnan natin dito. Okay, control enter. There. It's the same, no? You get 16,449. So the same guys yung the same yung 100 for the next 30 years every year is the same as 942.69 now. It's the same as 16,449.40 after 30 years. Isang single cash flow 16,449.40 after 40 years. Okay? So with that, guys, formula FB, this one. Is this what you're asking? Okay. Thank you, Mark. So future value ng using the annuity, future value naman using the present value. So yung tatlong cash flows na yan, guys, equivalent siya. Yung 100 for the next 30 years is the same as 942 now. It's the same as 16,449.40 after 30 years. All of them are equivalent. So we will be indifferent to all these amounts. All right. So let me stop recording now.